Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
But hold on, it's almost halftime.
Friday, and all I can there it is. All I could think before we really started talking today was about the meat hooks getting into the weekend.
We made it 2 seconds.
You made it 2 seconds. How much are you going to be able to actually be outside with the weather that you're expecting
That's a fair point.
Too hot for
across
that.
the natural state?
I can
Yeah.
feel the sonic booms from SmackDown's hands when every time he claps. Whoa.
Lightning
They'll be
bolts.
feeling those
Smart
soon
ass.
in the
Yes.
Harrison area, too. Give it a few minutes to travel.
Lightning bolts definitely will get your hair to stand up on end just by the sound in and of itself. I think there were some people whose hair was standing up yesterday, right about when, I think it was right when Ruskin and Zach got on the air. Pardon me here.
You good?
Got a little frog in the throat for the first time in the week. The announcement from the Big Ten yesterday really did come out of past left field. I don't think anybody expected any of the Power 5 conferences to be at least announcing any decisions so soon after the Ivy League became the first of the major, any of the college conferences in Division I to make the decision or at least announce publicly that they'd be pushing the football season and all fall competition, if there is any competition amongst those teams, to the spring semester. But the Big Ten definitely grabbed the headlines yesterday with an announcement that seems to make some sense, though there's some question marks surrounding the idea of why you have, if you're talking about playing your conference, you're talking essentially about trying to stay within a certain area of geography. So why then does the Big Ten essentially eliminate the MAC out of their scheduling when year by year it seems every single Big Ten team plays at least one MAC school per season? And it's right there in their backyard. I mean, the league essentially is the same footprint geographically as the Big Ten does. But announcements have been made, and it doesn't affect the SEC right now, at least not in football, though I did see that Arkansas women's cross country was supposed to go to a meet at Wisconsin in October, and cross country is one of the sports affected by the Big Ten's announcement. So Razorback women's cross country, if they are competing in the fall, will have to figure out something else to do that weekend. The ACC postponing their fall sports until September 1st affects Arkansas soccer. Women's soccer was supposed to make a trip out to, is it the Triangle or the Triad? I forget which one is which when you're talking Raleigh, Durham. Anyway,
it's Triad.
They're supposed to play at Duke in North Carolina, August 20th and 23rd. Those games have also been either postponed or canceled, and we'll have to figure that thing out. But the more I think about this announcement by the Big Ten, and sometime soon there will be other announcements from other Power 5 leagues. This now gives their non-conference opponents much more time to make their plans for a football season. And for a league like the MAC, for a league potentially like the Sun Belt, like the Patriot League, they may be having no other choice at some point than to push their season into the spring. Because right now, a lot of these places might not have the capability to do the testing that they'll need to do in order to, at least in their own minds, feel that their student athletes are safe enough to play football. Will these places be able to have fans in attendance?
Right.
You know, I mean, the MAC, the Sun Belt, they make some money on television contracts with ESPN, but it's nowhere near the level of money that is that goes into the pockets of the SEC, the Big Ten, and the rest of the Power Five. These lower level conferences need butts in seats, flat out, in order to be able to stay viable financially. If they're not making their $1 to $1.5 million for a bye game, like looking at Bowling Green. Bowling Green supposed to play Illinois and Ohio State. Over $1 million per game there that they're not going to see.
So
that presents a serious dent into an athletic department like Bowling Green.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and this is more of a question. Did they say anything about the money aspect yesterday? Because I didn't know. I didn't know it was like these extreme circumstances, and not necessarily for the big schools. Because while yes, the Big Ten schools, ACC, SEC, just the blanket of the Power Five. While they want to save money, they have the money. I mean, $1 million. You see what I mean? Like $1 million is going to mean more to a MAC school than to Ohio State, in a sense. It means to both of them, but it'll mean more to them. I just figured, and I didn't really think about the aspect that you just took it, but when this broke, I was like, this seems awfully early to make this drastic of a decision. But with you pointing it out, kind of like, okay, this gives the other schools time to at least try to figure a plan B, and C, D, and E, and F, or whatever. I never heard anything about the money aspect of it. Like if, say, Michigan, for example, is still going to pay Arkansas State, maybe not I don't remember the exact dollar amount, but say it was 1.5. Maybe they instead pay them $750 or something.
Well, and I remember, a lot of this has to do with what the contract language spells out.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember when Arkansas State got messed over by Miami due to their inability to travel out of Miami because of a hurricane that was coming through Florida. So they canceled the game with Arkansas State. And the contract language, they ended up haggling over it, and I don't think they went to court, but settled out of court. $400,000 went to Arkansas State because of the cancellation, and it went to a force majeure clause in the contract, which essentially is what these contract clauses will have to have if the smaller schools won't recoup any of the money, and a lot of them will. Some of the schools have already said, look, we're hoping that in the future we can continue to schedule these Big Ten schools. So we're going to continue to have the same relationship with them. We're not looking to take them to court or anything like that. It's understandable what's happening. But I think it all has to do with the language inside the contracts. Well, what does this mean to the SEC? What does this mean to the SEC? Nothing just yet. Next week is a huge week for SEC fall sports specifically. We found out last week that the athletic directors amongst the Southeastern Conference schools are supposed to meet in Birmingham, I think an in-person meeting next week where they will hash out protocols, potential schedules, how to move forward in this pandemic and things, continuing to get worse. They have to map out, I think, in many cases, what a worst-case scenario would look like, which would be complete cancellation of a football season. You got to map out the idea of maybe even moving it to spring, as difficult as that sounds it would be for a league like the SEC, and potentially you might even just look at the idea of conference versus conference as the best case scenario, which to me is what the Big Ten announcement yesterday was all about. This is what we think is the best scenario for us to play. It's against schools of our same size, same financial considerations. They can all follow some of the same protocols for testing and keeping athletes safe. So they're looking at these other schools as like-minded schools in the same league. This is the best they can do. That might be what every other Power 5 league is forced to do, though we still have the thought, Smackdown and It's the Truth, the SEC is going to be the holdout. We'll be the last one standing to make the decision of playing just a full conference schedule, which now think about this, though. You may end up with a more entertaining football season overall with SEC teams playing 10 games against each other rather than just 8. I don't know. It's something I've been kind of calling for a long time, but it's obvious that's the direction things are going right now.
Like you mentioned yesterday, if you go conference only, the Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, they can mandate more easily, hey, this is how we're going to do things as far as COVID testing and whatever it may be. It's a whole lot easier to mandate that than try to go play at like Alabama going to USC. I know they're not going to USC, but going somewhere else where rules are different, procedures are different, you can localize it more in the SEC. And you're right. It'd be a hell of a lot more fun watching a 10-game SEC schedule. Maybe not if you're an Arkansas fan because of where the team is, but the overall game, it's going to be a lot better if it's only SEC, if you're trying to find the bright spot and everything.
Yeah, so it's really difficult to find a bright spot right now. I guess the bright spot is that the Big Ten didn't announce a cancellation,
right,
moving it to fall.
That's a good one. Yeah.
You know, at least they're in the best case scenario playing a football season that will begin in the fall. We do have some sound from the Big Ten commissioner, also Ohio State's athletic director Gene Smith, with a moment of skeptical truth, I think, in his own mind. Plus, you can actually draw a bit of a connection here between Arkansas's announcement of mobile ticketing to the idea of an SEC-only schedule. We'll give you reasons why after the break.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Craft.
You know what ketchup is? It's high fructose. It is pure sugar. Do you think fructose is good for you, Ty?
Doesn't sound like it, Clay.
And it is not. It is not good for you. It is not good for the steak. That's what you put on your steak. Corn frickin' syrup.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
Hot summer deals at World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. Lock in your price right now for 2 long summers at World of Wireless.
Call WOW now, 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Or come see us at our new location in Barling, right next to Frank Rowe Furniture. Get into the Hopper system for less than $60 a month. $59.99 will get you a DVR in one room, 120 channels, ESPNs, and it's locked in for 2 years. And right now, when you get the Hopper 3, we'll throw in a Ring doorbell system.
This is great because it interfaces with the Hopper system, so when someone comes to the door, it shows up on your TV screen.
That's right. It's the Google doorbell system, absolutely free when you sign up for DISH in a new 2-year agreement, and you get the Hopper 3 system. And rates less than $60 a month. $59.99 a month, includes one TV with DVR.
All right, call WOW now, 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474. Lock in your price for 2 years with World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic, 479-785-2323, or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
It's time for the annual trade-up event going on right now at Breeden RV all through the month of July. Trade up and get up to $5,000 over NADA trade-in value. Trade up and take advantage of rock-bottom prices on all new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. And you get free maintenance for life on everything new. Breeden RV will also take care of all your service needs on all makes and models. Shop today at BreedenRV.com and then come see Ransom in the Game at Breeden RV between Van Buren and Alma on Alma Highway. Breeden RV, where adventures begin.
It's that time of year, baseball season, and time to clean. Let ServiceMaster Clean help you with your carpet, upholstery, and floor cleaning. ServiceMaster Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years and back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local ServiceMaster Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Hey, Couch Surfers, we've got nonstop tunes to keep you rocking while you work. Oh, and Colleen, yes, you Colleen with a K. Your free trial of Movie Plus ends tomorrow, and your card may be charged. Do you want to continue or cancel?
So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant. Eno looks out for surprise charges, like when free trials expire, and helps if you need to fix them. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Limitations apply.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
67-66, Vandy's not going to call a timeout. We got an offensive foul. Saban Lee pushed off his 5th foul of the game, and Arkansas is going to get the ball with 8.2 to go.
This is really where the work begins, to make sure that we get all of our testing protocols finalized, to make sure we get all of our medical and operational procedures finalized, but then also start working with our network partners. And then, like you just alluded to, is from a scheduling standpoint, to start working on various scenarios that will work. So over the next week or so, we'll work through all of the scheduling issues that we'll have to deal with to make sure that we're always doing the best that we possibly can to keep our student athletes healthy and safe, but also provide some great Big Ten football, hopefully in the fall, to our fans.
It's Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren on the many tough decisions that will be made in the coming week. Big Ten announced that they will announce their schedule in the near future. But Notre Dame has to look for another game outside of their game at Lambeau against Wisconsin. And, Notre Dame would be on the outside looking in if all the conferences say, well, we're just going to play conference foes. Although the ACC Commissioner John Wofford did say that that his conference would help Notre Dame as best as possible to fill a full schedule. Now, what does this mean for Arkansas and Notre Dame? It's like, man,
that's a $1 million question at this point.
It's more like, I would imagine it's more than just a $1 million question. I mean, you had your 2-game series against Michigan canceled because of Notre Dame all those years back, and now a pandemic may end up ruining Arkansas's first chance to play against the Fighting Irish up there in South Bend. Notre Dame's athletic director Jim Jack Swarbrick, says that he's more pessimistic that the season will start on time. Of course, Arkansas is supposed to play Notre Dame in week 2. Right now, it seems more than likely that Arkansas's game against Notre Dame is not going to happen, at least not this year, because if the ACC is going to conference only, I have a sense. And Notre Dame already has 6 games scheduled against the ACC. That means they would need to schedule 4 more. I would assume you're looking at about a 10-game season. The Big Ten's going to do that. I would think the ACC would look for 10 games, SEC, so on and so forth. There would just be 4 more games Notre Dame would need to schedule. It would be fairly easy to pull that off within the context of the ACC. They have to replace a home game. They would be able to do that without it being Arkansas. So for those of you who have tickets, although keep in mind, you haven't been given paper tickets, nor will you get any, and there might be a real reason for that outside of the normal things we think about with the switch to digital ticketing. I don't think that Arkansas-Notre Dame game is going to happen this year.
I'm sad to agree with you, but I think with everything that's been happening, I think the one thing to probably keep in mind, you heard, like you just mentioned, the ACC said they're willing to help Notre Dame try to schedule these games or try to fill their schedule. I think the Big Ten mentioned the same thing also. And heck, there could be a scenario where Greg Sankey says, all right, you guys can keep that Notre Dame. I mean, there's so many different scenarios that they could go with this. I personally don't see it happening just because with the route and with everything happening the way it is and the move to conference only, that's probably what the SEC is going to end up doing. Like you said, it's probably going to be we're going to be the very last conference to do it. It sucks because whether or not we won or lose, I think a lot of Razorback fans, including myself, were looking forward to that game just to say Arkansas versus Notre Dame.
Yeah, outcome notwithstanding, I think we all were looking forward to that. Just
to say, hey, we played Notre Dame. I mean, to see Touchdown Jesus and see everything at Notre Dame is going to be a lot of fun to see. And that's not to say it won't happen because that game ain't going to not happen. I don't think it's not never going to happen. And I think the same could be said about Arkansas State, Michigan. It's probably it's going to be bumped back probably,
Well, who knows?
9 or 10 more years.
This is part of the issue. Like, I'd have to look up the schedule website, but you'd imagine Michigan's got their non-conference games scheduled out for quite a while. So there's no way Arkansas State plays them anytime in the near future. It's going to have to be when they get that first open date. And with Arkansas State now having an open date on the schedule, that does not mean that they will play the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Very true. Yes.
The Hogs are going to have to make their schedule based upon what the rest of the SEC allows. And if that's, a format where it's 9 conference games plus 1 non-conference game, it just seems like it would be a little bit difficult to be able to fit that 1 non-conference game in, for whatever weekend everybody wants it to be. It doesn't seem like it would make sense very much. And if you're Arkansas and you want to try to do 1 non-conference game, you want to do that Notre Dame game, right?
Absolutely.
I would imagine that's what you want to do. I don't think Arkansas State is going to be the answer to fill, the open date on the schedule, if there is one, because you're going to see all SEC versus SEC. Exactly. It's going to be an entertaining football season. Look, it's never happened before where the top conference in college football, and whether you think that's the Big Ten or the SEC, we know where you come in on that. Both of the top conferences in college football for the first time will play 10 games against their own competition.
Yeah.
That isn't a terrible thing.
No.
At all. This makes for an entertaining season.
The only thing you're going to miss go ahead.
I was just going to give the number, 877-377-6963.
The only thing you're really going to miss out on now is just those marquee non-conference matchups, which is very rare. I mean, not very rarely, but hardly ever do you really like these non-conference matchups are always like the glitz and glamour of the whole season. Every one of the big games always comes during conference play, especially in the SEC, because what's the big one in the SEC? It's Alabama versus LSU. Or now you could probably argue this year it's going to be Alabama versus Georgia. And I say that just every conference has their big game, and it's never, to my knowledge, it never really comes in the non-conference slate, or at least this season it probably wasn't. Moving forward, you might see it.
The games you'd be losing that would be maybe entertaining games.
Fair.
Power 5 versus SEC would be Alabama, Southern Cal, Arkansas, Notre Dame, Auburn, North Carolina, Florida, Florida State. I mean, that's usually a pretty exciting rivalry there. Georgia, Georgia Tech, although that's been dominated by UGA of late. Those teams really do care about it. Kentucky, Louisville, great rivalry. LSU versus Texas has been a lot of fun the last few times, and certainly the last year it was. Mississippi State, NC State, Mizzou and BYU, Ole Miss, Baylor, South Carolina at Clemson, big rivalry. Tennessee at OU, should be a pretty good game. Texas A&M, Colorado, Vandy, Kansas State, There's some good games you'd be missing
I stand
out
corrected,
on. But on the other hand, it would still be replaced by, and I don't know exactly. I'm not looking at the schedules, but it could be replaced potentially by Florida, Alabama,
Arkansas,
or Georgia versus LSU, or South Carolina versus Arkansas. I mean, you could make it up in a way where you're actually getting an opponent that you've played more often because it's a conference team. But the other thing I wanted to get to on this, the announcement by the university yesterday of mobile ticketing, a switch to total mobile ticketing, and the momentum now of all conference games, or at least a schedule that you don't know what it's going to look like. These things work in unison. They really do. You can't reprint, or I guess you can reprint paper tickets, but it takes a lot to get that done,
and it's expensive.
And it's expensive, and there's a long amount of leeway, a lot of time that has to go between when you order the tickets and when they actually get printed and delivered to people.
Yeah.
Mobile ticketing, push of a button on someone's laptop in the Broyle Center, boom,
done.
The mobile tickets have changed.
Yep.
Dates, seats, opponents,
the little scanner thing, the
little scanner thing, everything.
Yep.
It seem to make a lot of sense here. Switch to mobile tickets announced right before some announcement of all conference games, or really at this point not knowing
exactly
if you're going to have a season that is going to play out the way the schedule shows.
That's 100% it. And they talked about this on the Rush, and I don't know about you both, but I know I've had great experiences using mobile ticketing. It worked well at Fayetteville. It's worked phenomenally when I would go to wrestling stuff through Ticketmaster, but I've had positive experiences with it. I think a lot of other people will. It's just you're going to have your old timers that still have the flip phones.
Well, they would still be printing paper tickets if they knew exactly when the games would be played, because people like to hold on to those, but you would have a phasing out of those tickets in a very slow way.
Okay.
They've been phased out, boom, like that. Who knows if they'll ever come back? And other thoughts about whether or not the Power 5 and the Group of 5 in FCS might actually decouple, because there's talk of the lower levels playing only in the spring, and you could have Power 5 teams playing in the fall. That's a decoupling that I think might be a little difficult to get them back together again. Something to talk with the Sporting News' Bill Bender, who joins us for a college football chat after these quick words.
Redbox has non-stop excitement with new movies and summer blockbusters. Don't miss Becky, an action-packed thriller brought to you by Redbox Entertainment, starring Lulu Wilson, Kevin James, and Joel McHale. When a father and his teenage daughter go on a weekend retreat, they look forward to peace and relaxation. However, a group of convicts have something much more sinister in mind when their paths are crossed. Rent Becky and other new movies at Redbox. Make it a movie night and visit redbox.com for all the ways to watch.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities, or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities. And the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Ask for it at Jiffy Lube.
When it comes to price and low payment, you're not going to beat the 2020 Ford Escape at Harry Robinson's Sallisaw Ford. 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw. Troy's back with me. Troy, this is a great car at a great price.
Hey, it definitely is, Tommy. I mean, you're talking about almost $8,000 off of the new 2020 Escape. Here's the really cool part about this. This isn't the 19. This is that brand new body style. I've been telling everybody, it looks similar to a Porsche. I mean, this thing is absolutely beautiful. It's been completely re-engineered. It's got tons and tons of options on the inside of this car, and right now it's almost $8,000 off. You're talking about almost 30% off of MSRP.
Plus, you get the Ford Pass points that go with it.
Hey, and you do. That's just a plus. You're talking about your maintenance is going to be paid for almost 2 years. So come down here, get an awesome price on a vehicle, get your service taken care of, and hey, just come by from Harry Robinson, see the difference.
$20,999 2020 Ford Escapes at Harry Robinson, Sallisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Sallisaw.
906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, now open Tuesday through Saturday, still serving all the 906 specialty items, with new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, dine in or carry out, wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails and cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels more like a destination, following all of the state guidelines in a state-of-the-art air filtration system for your safety. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open Tuesday through Saturday at 4 p.m.
It's time for the annual trade-up event going on right now at Breeden RV all through the month of July. Trade up and get up to $5,000 over NADA trade-in value. Trade up and take advantage of rock-bottom prices on all new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. And you get free maintenance for life on everything new. Breeden RV will also take care of all your service needs on all makes and models. Shop today at BreedenRV.com and then come see Ransom in the Game at Breeden RV between Van Buren and Alma on Alma Highway. Breeden RV, where adventures begin.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recording anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3888. 877-305-3474 for more details, or visit us online at shopwownow.com. Get the Hopper 3 today by calling Wow World of Wireless at 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474, or online at shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device. World of Wireless has moved just a few miles east, next to Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Joe, for the record, gets it from the corner. Isaiah with the three. That's his 103rd of the year, and he sets an Arkansas record for made three-point baskets in a season.
Bill Bender is national college football writer at The Sporting News. He joins us here on Halftime on this Friday. And, Bill, how you doing today, man? I mean, I guess I was going to ask if it's a depressing day, but we got to try to look at this in a little more of a positive light, right? Because at least the Big Ten didn't announce that they're not playing in the fall, right?
I think this is kind of the scramble mode. And, yeah, I'm trying, these radio interviews are hard because I don't want to be a message of Debbie Downer type guy. And it's just not who I am. But I even told my wife the other night, it's like, it's depressing to go on show after show and talk about the prospect of not having something we all love so much. I do think it allows them to get ahead of the game a little bit because it's becoming increasingly clear that September's probably not realistic for football. Maybe October is. Maybe – I don't know that a spring season really makes sense to me, but at least they're trying. And the hope is that we can get the numbers down. So is that positive enough, or do I need to dial it up a little bit? I don't know.
Well, I guess you made me at least think that because you have like-minded schools, that's what being in a conference is all about. Like-minded schools, not just about the athletics, but also the academics that go along with it. You adhere to the same protocols. Many of those schools have not identical budgets, but budgets that are around the same vicinity. This kind of sounds like the best way to have a season to be flexible is to limit yourselves to those schools who can test the same way that you test, that are speaking to the same medical experts that you're speaking to, and essentially does show a lot of the limitations that lower-level college football has at competing with top-level college football, at least financially.
Yeah, it really is. And, some programs, with the Ivy League decision, that's a group of schools that doesn't register as far as the FBS goes in terms of the money-making machines that they are. I think I looked it up. I think there's nine schools that were over $100 million in revenue, a couple more over $90 million. These are money-making machines that they need that football. The Ivy League doesn't need that because they got, all the endowments and the scholarships and the, some of the greatest education in the world, quite frankly. So this is an interesting time, though. And for me, I think just from a logistical standpoint, you hit it. If you're going to try to plan something, you need to have – it's easier to control 14 teams than it is 65. And I do think, and I've seen this a lot on Twitter, it calls for the need that we need a college football czar, commissioner, whatever you want to call them, to kind of oversee this whole deal.
You really do. And maybe this crisis does lead to that in some sense. You hit on something that we talk a lot about, the idea that the Power 5 schools have so much money, on the line here, television contracts and everything else that goes along with it, and 100,000 seat stadiums that they need to fill up. But what about what this change from the Big Ten does to schools out of the MAC? What if all the Power 5 leagues go to just conference schedules? Now you're dealing with smaller athletic departments who also depend upon the bye games in order to keep some of these programs afloat. Thinking like Bowling Green, like Central Michigan. That's what's happening already right now has to at least put some trepidation in those smaller athletic departments, because I'm not sure if they can make those funds up at all.
For sure. And I think that's something that, as you keep in mind, is they need that TV money. So, as much as we mock the MACtion and the Tuesday night games and the Sun Belt games that are on Thursday night and those kind of things, they're going to have to be creative to get that money back. Just in the MAC and Big Ten alone, That's 11 games. We kind of call them sacrifice games. And listen, I'm a MAC graduate, so went to Ohio University. I know down there I've watched Arkansas State wear them out in a couple bowl games. It didn't make me happy, but I still follow it and take a lot of pride in following my school. So I think it's going to make it tough for those schools as well.
Speaking to Bill Bender here on Halftime, Bill, where do you think this leaves Notre Dame in this whole process? Because Arkansas has them on their schedule. We've seen the ACC come out and said the rumor is that they're going to try to support Notre Dame as much as they can. In your opinion, where does this leave Notre Dame as far as scheduling? Because it seems like it was a pretty uneven split between ACC, Big Ten, and then the sprinkle in the Pac-12 and SEC.
I think they'll be able to get to 8 or 9 just because of that ACC tie-in, and they'll work with them. And, I mean, if you pay attention to the TV contracts, I mean, they lose NBC games with Arkansas, as you mentioned. They lose that Lambeau Field game with Wisconsin. That was going to be fun, too. I'm a Packers fan, so I definitely thought that was going to be fun. But they still have that Clemson game on there, Louisville game on there, and those are two of the ACC's better teams. So I think, Swofford's pretty smart. He'll allow Notre Dame to wiggle in there, and then they can schedule some independence along the way. So I think Notre Dame, I guess the big question for them that's remaining is, and this is, you're seeing it with the ACC and SEC as well, with all those traditional rivalry games at the end of the season. Will we get USC Notre Dame? Will we get Louisville Kentucky? Will we get Florida State? I mean, think about that. That game's in jeopardy now.
When do you expect the SEC to make its decision? Because I think the wide opinion is that it's going to be the SEC is going to be the last standout and eventually make their decision last. With everything happening so quick, I mean, the Ivy League happened, and this is happening eerily similar to how the cancellation of the basketball tournaments in the NCAA tournament came down. When do you think the SEC will make its move?
Probably last. But, I mean, again, this is a conference that makes a ton of money. Them and the Big Ten are both over $700 million in revenue. So that's a lot of money to consider. I think they're going to explore all the options. I think one thing that would make sense if they can pull it off with the ACC and work together is that 9-game schedule. Maybe 8 in the conference and then 1 outside. So we get Clemson, South Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky, Florida State. I mean, almost every SEC school has that. And then the others could maybe schedule in a group of 5 school or something. I don't know. But if everybody goes with a conference-only model, that's going to be tough to do. I think one thing with the ACC and SEC, though, is they are the only 2 Power 5 conferences that play an 8-game schedule. And this circles back to that needing a commissioner thing, because I always use the comparison of, for those of us who love those Italian mafia movies, I mean, you've got 5 families you're dealing with, and it's hard to get all of them on the same page. Now, nobody's going to get whacked or anything, but it's still hard to get all the 5 of these conferences on the same page.
So it's kind of just gauging how you sound about it, and I think me and Phil both agree, too. I think when you look at all the options that are on the table, or what we think are options on the table, the conference-only approach, pushing back the season, pushing it to the spring, everything you've heard about it, it sounds like the conference-only approach is probably the best option that any conference is going to have at this point.
It is. It's most pragmatic because I think what it does is it gives them till October, because you got to think, we need 6 weeks from whatever date where we feel comfortable enough to play. Then you need 6 weeks to get ready. That's been kind of the NCAA's recommendation as it is. Then you've got to work out the protocols with the logistics of getting all these players on campuses and all that kind of stuff. And then just the COVID testing protocols, which aren't universal across the board. And it's very expensive for some schools. So I think all of those things are at work. The SEC, of course, makes a ton of money. But I think it's just easier to keep 14 schools in line than it is trying to get 65 in line, at least in the current environment that we have.
I got to be honest, and I've been pushing for this for a while. Not like I expect non-conference games to not happen, but, the idea of Power 5 schools versus FCS, I've just never been into it. And I love the thought of 10 SEC conference games. I really do. I mean, I think that would be probably a higher quality of a football season than we're used to seeing. I mean, you wouldn't have any of the patsy games. Oh, no, we can make jokes about Vanderbilt and, yes, about Arkansas too, but I don't really see anything wrong with SEC playing 10 conference games. I think it'd be high-quality football.
I think you got to adjust what you want to watch. I mean, I think for me, I look at the baseball season, for example, and being a regional guy here in Ohio, I think it's pretty exciting that they're just doing the NL and AL Central. 60 games, breakneck speed, a sport that normally is a 162-game march that is hard to watch sometimes. It's been sped up. And if you're dealing with the sport that, in my book, with college football, is the most regionalized of all, that's what makes it great. The ties between those SEC schools and the ACC and the Big Ten and Big 12 and Pac-12, I think it could be fantastic if they just do conference games. Because let's be honest, guys, we've had to scrounge at the bottom of the barrel for sports for months. I think we'll take any football we can get.
So I want to close on this thought, and you bring up the baseball model, and I even kicked around the idea a couple of days ago that what's happened in Major League Baseball could be the start of a radical realignment that's based upon East and West geography. Now, what about the idea of the Power 5 leagues going to a full conference-only schedule, and that could be a point where the big leagues of college football are separated from, for lack of a better term, the minor leagues of college football, Group of 5 and FCS, to where you really do have like a big leagues and a big leagues junior, and the two don't really meet very often. Do you ever think that could be a possibility, and what we're seeing here could be the impetus or the breaking point or the tipping point?
We'll see. I think it's something that it's certainly a conversation, because the likelihood of a season to me kind of works from the bottom up. So we saw the Ivy League go. Now you're starting to wonder, can D3, D2, and the FCS and NAIA go? And then you wonder, can the Group of 5 go with the budgets that they have? And if it comes down to it, maybe those 66 schools that are the Power 5, and I would throw up Notre Dame in there because, guys, if there's a season, Notre Dame's getting a piece of it. Those are the schools that could potentially break off and form. And in some ways, it makes sense. I don't know how y'all do high school football down there, but I've been in states where they kind of have a Division I big boy and little boy league, if you will. And that could be what we're dealing with.
Yep, it really does seem like we are. Bill, we'll leave it there. Appreciate the conversation. Thanks for jumping on short notice today. And maybe we can do it again and actually talk about, I don't know, football once we get to it.
Blocking and tackling maybe next time. Yeah, you guys are great. Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks, Bill. Got it. That's Bill Bender, National College Football writer, Sporting News. Halftime brought to you by The Fence Man, and the number is 479-782-3936. The Fence Man can help your business if you need a fence that needs more security or more curb appeal. Fence Man can get you both. They've been doing it for over 40 years. Just give them a call for a quick, no-obligations quote. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man is a division of Quantum Property Services. And we close out the first hour on halftime. Your calls and texts, if you want them, get with us, 877-377-6963. We will be right back.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Jelco Outdoors is your summertime get outside and have some fun headquarters. Fishing equipment, fishing kayaks, canoes, archery equipment, firearms for target shooting, and comfortable footwear for hiking. Jelco has all the great gear to make your time outdoors a great adventure. Hunters, it's time to get those game cameras out and start scouting for fall. Jelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Has it been too long since your last haircut? Knockouts Haircuts for Men is now open at Fort Smith. The Knockouts girls are ready and waiting for you at their new location right next to JJ's on Phoenix Avenue. Knockouts Haircuts for Men may be the only place in this area where not only do you get the best haircut of your life, but they give you a free beer too after you're done. That's right. Get your haircut, get your free beer. That's just the way it works at Knockouts Haircuts for Men. Download the Knockouts app to make an appointment, and we'll see you real soon at Knockouts Haircuts for Men in Fort Smith.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
You probably didn't know until about right now, but you want to order wings. But not just any wings. You want Buffalo Wild Wings award-winning wings with their 24 sauces and seasonings. Get these meaty, juicy, crispy wings delivered hot and fresh straight to your door right now. When you want wings, you should just get wings. Order takeout and delivery at BuffaloWildWings.com or through the new Buffalo Wild Wings app. Buffalo Wild Wings, because let's be honest, cooking is hard, delivery is easy. Subject to availability, fees may apply.
Some buffalo wings.
We're here to tell you about Boost Mobile's new upgraded network.
That's right. Stronger signal, faster speeds, and more coverage.
So now you can get everything you want faster, like Pitbull's music.
No, the new upgraded network means you can download music faster than ever before. It doesn't mean that it will make Pitbull songs faster.
Oh, so this isn't the song.
No, this is the song.
Well, this is embarrassing.
Step up with Boost Mobile's new upgraded network. Stronger signal, faster speeds, more coverage than before. Switch and get 4 unlimited lines for $25 per line per month and 4 free LG K51 phones. Access to upgraded network requires compatible device. New customers only. 4-line offer requires at least 1 port and activation from eligible carrier. Free phone limited to 1 per line while supplies last. Customers using more than 35 gigabytes of data during billing cycle may be deprioritized during times of congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. Additional terms and restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
This is ESPN 95.3. This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
6 seconds remain. Madden puts it up. Wow! What a finish! Bobby Portis, the Magic Man, arrives just in time. The tip in and zeros on the clock.
A little rough news for baseball today. Major League Baseball will do the 2020 season. And I always feel like you got to throw in the idea, if there is one, whenever you say it, without one of the best catchers in recent history. Buster Posey is opting out for the 2020 season with the Giants. He and his wife are adopting twins.
Oh,
I think for the second time. So
good for them.
Getting brand new babies, and it's just you're starting to see a few more come out now. I guess that you won't see as many players who don't have the financial wherewithal to take a season off. Some of those guys like Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts has to play this season in order to get to free agency, so he won't opt out. Buster Posey has made millions of dollars hand over fist now.
How long has he been in the league? Is he plus 15?
I don't think he's been around for 15 years.
Hey, I know the name. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I feel like he's been around for a while.
He has. First year was 2009.
Okay,
so it's been 10 years. A 6-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, Most Valuable Player, 3-time World Champion. A guy that pretty much has been the rock and the heart of the Giants for a while now. But the Giants aren't expected to be very good, so I don't know if he felt there was much to play for to begin with. There may end up being more players in the next couple of weeks make that announcement. You're going to see Major League Baseball not really feel like you have a lot of the stars there. We'll see. Although Major League Baseball did report, I guess, pretty good testing numbers of less than 1% players testing positive of all the players that were during the intake portion of their summer camp.
You bring that up, and we'll keep it with baseball, but I saw a tweet right before Bill Bender came on. I think Michigan just came out with their last recent testing numbers, and I have to find out. I think it was around 350, 400 were tested, and only 2 came back positive. And it's been that steady, very, very low number. So that's good news too. I mean, you're still getting it, but as long as you can keep everything contained and controlled, everything will work itself out, I think.
Again, players testing positive, staff members testing positive was expected.
Yes.
Is part of this whole deal. It's a matter of limiting those people to themselves.
Right. And
you can't let what happened at LSU happen, where it turned into an outbreak amongst the team with players going out, you know?
It turns into a party, yeah.
It can't be what happened at Kansas State, where players hanging out with each other end up passing the virus onto each other. You know that there will be positive tests. It's just a matter of quickly, safely quarantining those folks and limiting the spread. I did see, and I guess this is something that could only happen in Canada.
Yeah.
Did you see this? So the Blue Jays apparently are playing their home games in Toronto. So they're not. There was talk that they might play in Buffalo at the AAA park just across Lake Ontario, which is their AAA affiliate. But I think they're going to play the games at the Rogers Centre, the aforementioned Sky Dome. And apparently, this is according to one of the reporters from the Sports Network, which is Canada's version of ESPN. Any Blue Jay player or staffer that is caught outside their ballpark or hotel bubble, however large that bubble is supposed to be, could face a fine of $750,000 and be subject to jail time for just walk. Now, I mean,
can we do that here?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you can mandate masks, but nobody's really enforcing these things anyway. I think it would be the same thing about going outside, you know, in the middle of the day to go get a ginger ale from across the street. There were some coaches in the Bundesliga that this happened to, where an entire team was quarantined in a hotel before the restart of the German soccer league, and I think it was a coach or a player, forget who, just went into a pharmacy to get a drink or to get some headache medicine, and that keyed a quarantine of the rest of the team for another week or two. So I don't think they fined him $750,000 and
how dare you get a headache?
Well, this is also an instance of a moment where if you're a Toronto Blue Jay and you see that, you might be thinking to yourself, you know what? I think I might skip out on this season. You know what? I think I'd like to be able to actually go outside without it being inside the ballpark on the field and breathe fresh air. You know, it's one reason why it does seem at some sort that it is a little bit unrealistic to have a baseball season the way that MLB is trying to construct this.
Yeah. The only good thing I can look at is as far as the testing is down, but that's a heck of a way to try to keep you quarantined.
I guess it'll keep the players inside, right? Those who say, okay, I'll go along with this. I'll play. Good luck. It just seems a little bit heavy-handed, but
very much heavy-handed. But if you can punch them in the first time, and then they ain't gonna come back.
877-377-6963. Robert in Fort Smith. How you doing, Robert? What's up?
Not bad, Phil. I just want to bring up the ticket thing from Arkansas. I'm not real happy with that because it's going to be hard to get your tickets, especially your baseball tickets, to your friends. I mean, you don't have all your friends' emails. Or if you do, then great. But most of us, I don't. So, and then football-wise, let's say you go up to a scalper, and I don't want to say a scalper, but somebody that is legit sending tickets.
I think it's called secondary market these days, right?
Okay. Yeah, okay. And then let's say somebody took advantage of somebody and they just spent $300 on tickets. You go up there and scan that, and it don't work. You're screwed because it ain't coming back on. You just bought someone outside the stadium.
That's true. And you're open to the same sort of fraud on paper tickets as well if you're not paying attention. So I mean, it can't work both ways.
But the papers are a little bit more legit to me, and it has happened. But I'm just saying that phone, you open up a big Pandora's box to me. And have a good one, guys.
Robert, I will tell you, I've done it a couple times. That's particularly, and I'll gauge this with Razorback tickets. Super easy to transfer them, or at least it was during this most recent season. And it's as simple as just texting the link to your friend, and then they can download the tickets, and you're good. I think someone commented yesterday that's going to be a big trust factor as far as, like, if I send them to you, you say, oh, hey, I can't go, and then, okay, I was just selling them at AT&T, and then out of nowhere, you're like, oh, hey, you know what, maybe I can go. And then you both have access to the tickets. That would be the only gray area I see. But, Robert, to me, and my experiences, now, granted, I'm 27, it was easy to transfer and send them off.
Well, I think that if you have a smartphone of any kind, Apple,
literally
Google, whatever,
any phone, I would guess.
Any one of these phones should be able to share the ticket fairly easily. I understand the reasoning why you would be thinking, you know, I'm used to giving my tickets to my friends in this way, you know, either handing it to them or you can leave it at the box office with their name on it, something like that. But you have to make it as easy to give it to somebody digitally, and I think once you get used to it, it's easier.
Oh, it's 100 times.
Somebody
and it's changed
digitally,
and it's changed, and I completely get where he's coming from. Just because hell, look at what we've went through the past 3 months. Our whole routines have been flipped completely upside down from what we're used to. So it's a change, but He makes me wonder something too. Do you have all your friends' email addresses?
No. You get contacted by people in so many different ways now. So with all of your friends or whomever you have to deal with and communicate with, do you have everybody's information? Do you have everybody's phone number and their email address and their Twitter and their Insta and their Facebook and their Facebook Messenger and their WhatsApp and their Twitch and their Parler and all of these others? Can we just get everybody's phone number? I think that's the way to be able to forward the sucker on.
Phone number's the same way. But me and Maddie T are so cool that we exchanged email addresses before we exchanged phone numbers.
That's right.
Boy, that seems like that's so 1999.
We also want to bring back MySpace and Bebo.
Yep. What's your MySpace page?
I haven't emailed.
Am I in your top 8?
I haven't emailed a friend in ages. Emails all for,
business.
Coupons of stuff I'm never going to buy. Business that I might pay attention to.
Work.
Scripts that Tommy Kraft sends in that I know I've got to open up. That's what email is for me. And to be able to sign up for all websites. And nothing else. 877-377-6963. Second hour, closing up the show after this.
Do you really love French fries? Curly, steak, shoestring, Cajun, waffle, wedges? ESPN Arkansas wants to know where the best French fries in Arkansas are at with the French Fry Bracket. Get to hitthatline.com and vote for your favorite fries. And one lucky winner will get a $50 gift certificate to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers to sample their greatness. Vote now through Friday the 17th. Presented by RAD, Rise Against Alcohol and Drugs. The French Fry Bracket from ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the community we serve.
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer. IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
We saved big money with our Progressive Home and Auto Bundle and used the cash to take a family vacation.
To Hawaii.
Who's up for a luau?
Yay!
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big money with Progressive, but not enough to go to Hawaii. They'll probably use it for things like the mortgage and groceries, or even a travel magazine, so at least they can see pictures of Hawaii.
Aloha!
Yes, say hello to those beautiful Hawaiian beaches in that magazine. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partly to mostly cloudy sky, a chance of some showers and scattered thunderstorms. The best chance will be across the north tonight. Overnight lows upper 60s to low 70s. Chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms for Friday are high in the low to mid 90s. And just a slight chance of showers and storms Saturday are high near 95. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson. Make sure to listen to the Morning Rush every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Proceed. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
It's what I always listen to.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com. You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
All right, getting to the final hour of the week here. Phil Elson, Matt Smackdown Jenkins, Matty T, and Mike Neighbors coming up in about 29 minutes. Do a little bit of basketball talk with Coach Neighbors. Just a little bit.
That's why I told Matty who's coming on. He's like, oh, it's going to be like 3 minutes of basketball and the rest is good. There ain't no telling what we'll go into.
Well, there's nobody else who I know who has a greater appreciation or memorized all the songs from Hamilton quicker than Mike Neighbors. And, of course, he's sort of responsible for my opportunity to see the show live in person in November. So I figured it would work and get his idea on what he thought about the movie because I'm guarantee he saw the movie.
Did you watch Did you watch the Disney Plus version of it?
Yes. Thought it was great.
Yeah, I was going to say, how did it hold up because it's a different touring cast, I'm sure, that you saw.
Sure. No, I mean, it was terrific. I love the cast I saw in San Francisco. The cast that was on the movie is the Broadway cast, so I'm not sure if it gets any better than that.
I haven't seen it yet, and I know. I mean,
you've only had like over a week.
Hey, shut up. Is there a difference between like the Broadway show and this show, or are you just referring
the actors,
to the cast?
I mean, like Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I don't know.
It's the guy that plays King George.
Yes,
I got a kick out of.
It's the proximity that you have. He's going to make you blush at some point this hour.
Yeah, I know he is. I'm just waiting for it. I'm trying to get him fired up before this.
Right now, he's just making you red and mad. He'll make you red and bashful later on.
I love you, Maddie. I'm sorry.
The difference is really that you get a little more up close to the actors in the movie, and you get some other shots that are impossible to get the perspective of that shot from the stage production. But you also miss out on just the theater experience.
Yeah.
And anybody that watched the play and saw the movie is going to tell you the play is better. It's the same. I mean, it doesn't make anybody any better that they saw the play over the movie. The story is still great. The music is still terrific, and the dancing, everything about it, the sets, the costumes, wonderful production. The movie was terrific. Yeah, and Chris points out it's true here. The movie production was made by filming 2 of the stage productions in front of an audience, and then one more time the actors did the show in front of the cameras, but only for the cameras, so they could get up close on them in a couple of in some cases.
I know we did a Grizzlies game. It was this past January on MLK Day, and Leslie Odom Jr. was there, and he did a big halftime show. Leslie Odom's freaking talented boy.
And he plays Burr and is terrific.
Yes, I love Burr. Love that character.
Well, it'll be fun to talk with Nabes about that. Also, his Weird Al list of songs, and I want to know what he thinks about the handlebar mustache I've got.
Has he seen it?
I sent him a picture of it this morning when I asked him to come on the show. I figure that eventually, once we're able to travel again for basketball, I will finally, for the first time, beat Nabes in billiards, in 8-ball, because of the mustache.
Yes, it's the power of the stash.
Instantaneously, this full horseshoe mustache increases my talent level at billiards.
You're like Samson, but with a mustache.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
If you cut it off, you're going to lose all of your ability.
Come on now, this is my relief pitcher look. Anybody who takes me on in a bout of pool is just going to be so frightened by this look. They'll be so intimidated that they'll start missing their shots because they're nervous of being around somebody who looks this frightening.
I'm curious what it would look like if you let it keep growing, and then once women's basketball rolls back around, do a game in a full suit, like your best-looking tuxedo with the handlebar.
Like an all-white suit, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
All-white suit. Keep the handlebar. Yes.
So you want me to look as ridiculous as possible?
No, that would you'd swag.
No, you'd look cool.
You'd look really cool.
Well, I appreciate the
swagging
idea
like a
behind
pimp.
that. We'll see. We'll see. All right, so just touching on some things that we did get to over the last couple of days. Hogs get their 13th commit for the 2021 football recruiting class, and that is cornerback Chase Lowry out of Frisco, Texas. Chose the Hogs over places like Michigan State, Iowa State, Pitt, Memphis. Nice get for Sam Pittman, and Sam Carter was responsible for recruiting him. Razorback tickets are exclusively mobile for the upcoming athletic year, and that's for all sports. So for those who are used to the paper tickets, those are not happening. And one reason why you can surmise is that as of right now, nobody knows what the schedules are going to look like for any of those sports, whether they be fall sports, winter, or spring. So that means you don't have to send anything to the printer. Yes, it does save some money, but it also saves a lot of time and the ability to be schedule flexible, which I think all universities will have to be. Not just for athletics, man, but really they're going to be flexible in how they schedule the academics too. Because
absolutely,
one thing we've learned through this pandemic is things can change just like that.
Mm-hmm.
And those who schedule classes are going to have to be just as mobile and flexible as athletic departments will be as far as scheduling too.
One thing else I want to put in here, the Razorback news: if you're craving some basketball right now. Have you seen the TBT tournament, the basketball tournament where $2 million are up for grabs?
Yeah, no, ISO Joe continues to just drop it.
So ISO Joe will be playing tomorrow at 2:00 p.m. I think this will be on ESPN. The only reason I bring this up, he's on the Overseas Elite team. The team they're playing is called Heard That. The leading scorer of that team is former Razorback Ja'Cory Williams.
Very good.
So
and,
if
of course,
you
he finished his career at Middle Tennessee.
Correct. And right now, Ja'Cory Williams is averaging a whopping 26 points a game for the Heard That Herds, whatever their mascot. I don't know what their mascot is, but some fun basketball to watch. But ISO Joe, you don't get much better than Joe Johnson.
Scoring 26 points per game?
That's according to the TBT website. When you click on preview for this matchup, tomorrow, 2:00. Team leaders, it doesn't have anything of that. Average points, Ja'Cory Williams is averaging 26. Joe Johnson averaging 13 points a game.
Man, we'd forgotten because Williams never averaged any better than 4.8 points per game or 16 minutes a game at Arkansas. The 1 year at Middle Tennessee, 17.3 points per game, and was one of the best players in Conference USA. So
they've got another player, Chris,
continues to score a lot.
They got another player, Chris Coakley. He's averaging 20 points a game. So, I mean, they got two guys averaging 46 a game. So, or a combined 46 a game. So, just something else for Razorback fans out there to watch.
The Democrat Gazette's series on Razorback baseball players in professional baseball, ranking the best 1 through 10, came to an end this morning. Cliff Lee picked as the best professional baseball player in Razorback history. Of course, this doesn't include those players who had committed to Arkansas but eventually went professional before playing any college ball. The best would be Torrey Hunter, I think. Although Cliff Lee did win a Cy Young. Dallas Keuchel won a Cy Young. Torrey's got himself an MVP. Of course, Torrey would have played for Norm DeBrine, but ended up going in the first round for the Twins. So you had Lee, number 1. Dallas Keuchel, number 2. And it's all position players after that. Johnny Ray ranked 3rd. I would flip Johnny Ray with Kevin McReynolds. I thought McReynolds would have been a little bit ahead of Ray, but Ray's 3rd, McReynolds 4th, Tom Pagnozzi 5th, Jeff King 6th, Eric Hinsky 7th, James McCann 8th, Andrew Benintendi 9th, Dick Hughes 10th. And, well, the jury would still be out on Keuchel and McCann and Benintendi as they're supposed to be playing baseball this upcoming season, whatever this upcoming season does look like.
Maybe I'm just a recency bias and would have put Keuchel at number 1. But Cliff Lee was a super solid pitcher for a lot of years. Yeah, it was the Phillies was it the Phillies he got really popular with, or not popular, but where he saw the most success?
It was Philadelphia and I think Cleveland too.
He
started his career with Montreal with the Expos, never got up to the Expos, and was traded to the Indians. And with the Indians is where he had his best seasons. Cy Young year was 2008. That was his last year with Cleveland. Got traded to Philadelphia midway through the next season, and had a couple of good years with Philadelphia, at least 2 or 3 of them. 877-377-6963. We have Mike Neighbors coming up in 20 minutes. And we got to remind you about the French fry competition, the French fry bracket going on right now at hitthatline.com sometime in the next 30 minutes or so. Well, it went to the voting for round 1 continues today, doesn't it?
Continues today. It's going to keep going. Just get this article pulled up here real quick, and I can tell you that for sure. It'll continue on through the rest of the week. We'll announce the winner next Friday here on Halftime, one of our ending segments, and we're going to randomly pick a person that submits or votes in here to win a $50 gift card to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers.
Best fries in the state of Arkansas. No big chains that are outside the state. So go to hitthatline.com, click on the Best Fries link, and vote. And we are right back.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
You know what ketchup is? It's high fructose. It is pure sugar. Do you think fructose is good for you, Ty?
Doesn't sound like it, Clay.
And it is not. It is not good for you. It is not good for the steak. That's what you put on your steak. Corn frickin' syrup.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Back again at Harry Robinson's Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw. Hey, the deals are hot right now. The weather's hot. The prices are even hotter. 2019 Ford Flex. It's your last 19. This has got even more cash off this month.
Hey, it definitely does. And here's the best part about it too, Tommy, is it is 0% financing for 84 months. That allows you to achieve the payment that you've been trying to achieve. And hey, it's almost like free money. I mean, you don't have to pay interest on the money that you're borrowing from the bank.
Hey, tell me about the 2020 Ford Fusion, $18,999. You can't beat that deal.
No, you definitely can't. We've got several of them out here to choose from, guys. Pick you a color. We're going to find you one. These are the new 2020s also. This isn't a 19. So the 2020 Ford Fusion, hey, and we've got a couple of them right now for $18,999. You're talking about less than $300 a month on a brand new car.
It's all at Harry Robinson Salisaw Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisaw, and online at harryrobinson.com.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. Get amazing fast fiber internet, 100 megabits for only $49.95 per month, or 1 gigabit for only $79.95 per month. TV packages from the basics to our amazing altered TV, starting at $32.95. Fiber phone services start at $29.95. Go to waveruralconnect.com to find out if we are installing in your area, or call 1-833-4-WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Are your workouts more fun than this? Well, if they are, then I want to sign you to an endorsement deal with Michelob Ultra. I'm looking for anyone and everyone who makes working out a blast. If that's you, head to TeamUltra.com for a chance to score awesome perks like Team Ultra gear and more. That's TeamUltra.com to enter.
No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 21 plus. See official rules at TeamUltra.com. Message and data rates may apply. Void where prohibited. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Your voice lets him know he's safe. Shelter Insurance does the same for you.
Roadside assistance is now included with your auto policy. So if your car leaves you stranded, just call and we'll take care of you while you take care of what's most important. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. Wear your shield, wear your shelter. Some restrictions apply.
Ask shelter agents Tiffany Newman in Mulberry or Warren Robertson in Alma about a free insurance review.
River City Bistro is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. River City's dining room is set up for your safety and comfort, or enjoy outdoor dining on the spacious patio. River City Bistro, locally owned and open Monday through Friday 11 to 8, weekends 10 till 8 for brunch and dinner. Want River City curbside to go? Search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro and order right from the page or on the website at rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Shot clock's at 10. Jones forces a three, and it goes anyway. Wow, Mason Jones with a three. Arkansas is up 67-62. Archie Miller wants a timeout with 2:01 to go.
Okay, we usually would have this upcoming segment in the last segment of halftime, but we didn't want this to be so shortened because I'm anticipating us going a little bit long with Mike Neighbors, as interviews with Mike Neighbors tend to do sometimes.
Absolutely.
So it is Game Show Friday.
Yes.
And SmackDown has picked out a game show for us to play that he is the host of. Can I call you Richard Dawson right now?
No, what was it? Gene Rayburn? Was that his name?
If this is match game, then we're doing. Then you're Gene Rayburn.
I'm Gene Rayburn. So we're going to try this out. We're probably going to we'll rotate game shows through the next coming Fridays and have some fun with these. And might even try to get some listeners' feedback. But for today, as you can tell by the music, we're going to play a little match game.
And of course, one of the really important things when you're playing any game show with our friend Matty T, and I have a feeling that the way match game is constructed,
yes,
will lead to this happening because it's been 3 or 4 days in a row now. Matty T has been able to make SmackDown blush.
Accidentally, though.
Yeah, it's a little more
buddy, accident.
You blush easier than I thought you would have. So,
well, mainly it's just because I'm relaxed, and then he'll throw it. He'll slip it in very smoothly, and it catches me off guard.
That's what she said.
See there, you just set him up with the softball.
Well, I know you like The Office.
You did it for him. You did it for him, Smack.
That's fantastic. So
you got to learn.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to read you 7 questions. You match what I said. That's the goal. Miss Potato Head is so totally fed up. Every night she stays home with the tots while Mr. Potato Head goes out and blank. Mrs. Potato Head is totally fed up. Every night she stays home with the tots while Mr. Potato Head goes and gets blanked. What did I say to that?
Trashed?
No, I didn't say trashed.
He gets peeled.
Oh, I thought you were about to say gets baked.
Baked. Okay.
Because he's a potato.
I got you. Okay.
Oh, okay. I see where this is going. I should have said fried.
Right.
I should have said sliced into 18 identically sized fries and fried.
I should have said chopped up into little pieces.
Oh, Andy Mountain Homes. Andy Mountain Home texted in and said get smashed. That's
would
better.
work too.
That one's better. Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't work because you said
gets baked.
which works too. Okay.
So basically, I meant Mr. Potato Head was getting hot. So anyway, Dumb Door is so dumb.
How dumb is she?
Thank you, Matty T. I forgot that little part of match game. Dumb Door is so dumb. She's the only girl in kindergarten with blank. What did SmackDown say?
Dumb Door is so dumb. She's the only kid in kindergarten.
She's the only girl in kindergarten with blank.
Pigtails.
Close.
Glue
Glue dripping off her chin.
I said gray hair.
Okay.
I don't know where that.
I don't know
how that works.
That's pretty random.
I was going to say 401k.
Okay.
All right.
But then I thought it was like, well, if she's still in kindergarten, she doesn't technically have insurance.
Well, I was thinking she's so dumb that she eats glue, and so it's dripping off her chin.
All right, I'm 0 for 2, and that question was 0 for 1.
That's fine. That's fine. We can trash that.
That was a
one.
dud.
Like we said, we're just trying this out today and see what everybody thinks about it. Due to mix-up at his agent's office, this was actually on the newest episodes of Match Game. Due to a mix-up in his agent's office, Snoop Dogg accidentally entered the Westminster Dog Show. He took home the trophy for the best in blank. This one should be easy. This one popped in my head just like that.
I mean,
no, I didn't say show.
Oh, best in.
What is Snoop Dogg known for?
Smoking dope.
So best in.
Best in dope.
Rapping.
Best in smoke.
Best in smoke.
Smoke. I was gonna go with best in shizzo.
Oh man, this is going just like I thought it would. Everybody
It's a
loves
huge success.
It really is. Everybody loves the song "It's Raining Men," but if it was up to,
yeah, you like it.
Sure. Everybody loves the song "It's Raining Men," but if it was about what women really wanted, the song would be called "It's Raining Blank."
Diamonds.
See, I was going to say diamonds at first, but I changed it.
Gold.
Diamonds is what I said.
Understanding.
Or money is what I said. Excuse me. To understand. It's raining understanding.
It's raining emotionally well men.
Yeah.
Jaws may be the scariest shark in the sea, but deep down, all he wants to do is write greeting cards. His sympathy cards are especially sweet. My deepest condolences on the loss of your blank. This was an answer that was actually given on Match Game, but I thought it was hysterical.
Legs.
Read this one more time.
Jaws may be the scariest shark in the sea, but deep down, all he wants to do is just write greeting cards. His sympathy cards are especially sweet because they say, my deepest condolences on the loss of your blank.
Arms and legs.
Lower half of your body.
See, I said child. I went dark.
Oh. What happened to the child?
Well, they died.
Oh, but by the shark?
By the shark.
Or was it an unrelated incident?
Unrelated. All right. This one could make me blush if you play your cards right, but I didn't. It's fine. Neil the Nerd said, I created a robot to do all the dirty work in my marriage. I get to have, quote unquote, fun with my wife, but the robot has to blank with her.
Talk with her.
Got it. I said talk.
Oh, wow. Quicker than I am.
I
So
think
you
women
came
are
up with
great
all
for
of these yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Really did.
Maybe next week get somebody else.
All right, last one. This one should be easy. Both of you should get this if you know me at all. John Blank.
Cena.
Very good, Matty T. Matty T loves me. Matty T loves me.
I think you need to get a new. You need a job at ABC coming up with the summertime game shows that they're going to be broadcasting.
That went just about as well as I thought it would in my head.
No,
what game show do y'all want to do next, though?
Do they even do the Match Game anymore? Is
Heck
that a
yeah,
thing?
no.
With Alec Baldwin,
Alec Baldwin's
right?
the host
Yeah.
of it now.
Oh, of course
It is fantastic.
I saw you had a story here. They're bringing back another one of these game shows.
Yeah, they're let me pull this up. They're bringing back this show, Phil. You recognize this?
Well, this is Weakest Link, right?
Yes.
I watched that a few times.
Bringing back Weakest Link, and probably one of my favorite actresses, Jane Lynch.
She kind of looks like the other lady,
yeah.
too, doesn't she?
You remember her name? I didn't even know her
She's
name.
a little bit more, personable and funny than the last one.
That is true. Yeah, the other lady just had
Anna Robinson was
one of those faces, you know.
You know the show, the game show that needs to come back, and you need to get Mark Summers, the original host.
Double
on it.
Dare.
Double Dare.
Double Dare.
It actually
Double Dare to come back. That was a tremendous game show for kids only, of course.
You know,
on Nickelodeon in the heyday.
It did come back a year or so ago, but Mark Summers wasn't the host. He was like more of an announcer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the show? If you bring
Physical
it up,
Challenge.
You bringing up Nickelodeon. What was the Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That was a great
That was
game.
a good one too.
Oh yeah.
I remember that one. That one freaked
Legends of
me
the
out.
That one was great.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah,
climbed
that
up that big like Toltec looking mountain
Yeah.
thing.
Do you remember Nickelodeon Guts? And they had like this big mountain that they had to climb
Bro,
up. at the end
Guts
to get
was
a
where it
piece
was
of
at.
Yeah.
I wish they would bring back Athlete Olympics. ABC Wide World of Sports used to do that in the summertime in the 70s, where you would have and I remember seeing this on the Super 70s Twitter account recently. You would have, what was it? It was Sugar Ray Leonard, Wayne Gretzky, and a couple of other well-known athletes at the time that raced in a 100-yard dash, and Gretzky beat them all. Like I would love to see something like this, but I guess athletes are too busy making movies now out of their own production companies.
They could bring back
those athletic competitions.
American Gladiator.
Was that the show that wasn't it on Nickelodeon first?
No, American Gladiator. That was adults on that show, but they would do these little competitions. Hit each other with padded sticks.
That's right. Yeah.
You'd have this one. It's like he shot like a rocket thing up at a bullseye.
There was a show, and I watched it a couple. It was on CBS, I think. And it's new. It had Keegan-Michael Key. I think it was called Game On, but it's kind of like that. They had Rob Gronkowski and Venus Williams. They're the team captains, and then they have comedians and athletes join them, and they do these ridiculous games. But no, ABC, like everything that they've been doing these past 3 or 4 summers with Celebrity Family Feud, which I want to hang out with Steve Harvey. First of all,
he's funny.
Well, I just love the return of the Whammy with Presser Luck.
Oh, that's a great show.
We were
that
talking
brought back a good chunk of childhood.
During the break, we were talking about a little bit about how shows are unoriginal now, and so this is ABC. They're the ones bringing back all of these game shows that are
Who Wants to Be a
30
Millionaire?
and 40
Yeah.
years old, and now they're also bringing back the Wonder Years.
I forgot about Brian in Fort Smith, Texas, said they need to bring back. Oh, that was a great show. They need to bring back Pros vs. Joes.
Now, that was what that was. That was.
I think it was
15,
MTV.
15 years ago, something like that.
When MTV was good.
Pros versus Joes. Well, anything to get eyes on the TV, I guess, right? Don't forget, if you're going out this weekend, 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has new hours, 4 to 1 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Live music. You can see the schedule on their Facebook page. Just do a search for 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on Facebook, and you'll find their complete and updated schedule on live music and events. Plus, they continue with new menu items from the kitchen, as well as all your old favorites, and 906 abides by all the guidelines with social distancing, and with their state-of-the-art airflow system, you'll have the freshest environment while you're at 906. That's 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Sample, indulge, and escape at 906 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Arkansas women's basketball coach Mike Neighbors joins us after the break as we continue on a Friday on Halftime.
When we rise above alcohol and drugs, we reach for, expect, achieve, and accomplish more. The minute we think about using alcohol or drugs, we lower our chance of living our best life. When we rise above, we respect ourselves and live our best life, not a stressed life. Being drug and alcohol free has always been the best way to be. Hey, it's my best me. Let's do this. Join the RAAD movement. Challenge yourself to rise above alcohol and drugs. To learn more, find and like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Region 2 Partners for Success, and you can reach us at 870-391-3176.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
Hey, this is Ted with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service. They're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
This human resources professional is on top of his game with Kronos, and this is his hype song.
No, nobody catching up. They're not fast or strong enough.
HR, payroll, talent, and time.
I'm the best beyond belief. I got strength.
And I'm engaging all the best people.
I'm the best you ever know.
Kronos, HR solutions for the modern workforce. Learn more at kronos.com/HR swagger.
Now on standby.
Jelco Outdoors is your summertime get outside and have some fun headquarters. Fishing equipment, fishing kayaks, canoes, archery equipment, firearms for target shooting, and comfortable footwear for hiking. Jelco has all the great gear to make your time outdoors a great adventure. Hunters, it's time to get those game cameras out and start scouting for fall. Jelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Folks, we at Mosquito Joe understand how important your yard is. It's where some of your best memories are made with your family. It's where you play catch with your kids or grandkids. It's where you have your friends over for those backyard barbecues. You don't have to keep letting mosquitoes crash the party. There's a solution for that now. Mosquito Joe protects your yard so you can focus on what's important. Call Mosquito Joe today. Get your first service for just $39. 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960. Or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Baseline drive. Sills feeds Joe left corner. Step back. 3 on the way from Isaiah. Perfect. Nothing but the bottom for Joe. And the Hawks are up 45-28.
I've been saying he's the best shooter in the country.
Mike Neighbors, good friend of the show, Arkansas head women's basketball coach, joining us here on Halftime. Mike, I took a look at your Twitter before we went on here, and I guess before we get into anything, we should offer up a big congratulations for the longest sleep of Bowen's young life. Well done. How long was the sleep, and how did Bowen accomplish this?
7 minutes and 41 seconds of uninterrupted sleep last night, according to his sock that charts every time he wiggles and moves. And listen, y'all know I get zero credit for how cool this baby's turned out to be. He has overcome my DNA every step of the way. But he got a good night's meal, he got a good warm bath, and then the snoo. I'm telling you, is the best technology. The internet and iPhones, there's a lot of good things that have come out, but this snoo just makes for – I hope they make one for adults. The second they do, I'm buying one because he sleeps like a rock star and wakes up with a good rest. We've been real lucky.
The snoo?
What is the snoo? Can you describe what this
I'm
piece
curious,
of
too, because
machinery is?
My little sister's fixing to have a baby, her first kid, so I'm curious.
Okay, just let me tell you this. It's not cheap, but it is well worth it, okay? When you look at it, you're going to go, oh, no. I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. Do whatever you got to do to get one of these things. It is a sleep device. It's a combination bassinet learning device. So you lay him down at night, and you zip him into what looks somewhat like a straitjacket. But it's like a swaddling, snuggly, zip-up jacket, and you lay them down, and it's Bluetooth technology, and when he makes a whimper, the technology hears that sound and jostles him in a certain manner, okay? So y'all with me so far? All right? So he's laying there, and he goes, eh, or whatever. Well, it hears that sound, so it vibrates. Well, if it works, the snoo remembers that sound is attached to that solution.
Oh my God.
So if he makes a different sound the next time it makes a different movement. It's got like 30 different settings. So it teaches the baby to self-soothe a little bit, and he makes one sound and it starts rotating or vibrating or jostling him, or sound of a car or a baby's womb. Like I said, I need one for me. I would love to have one that I can zip myself into at night and do this for me. But I'm telling you, it's worth every single penny, and if you get one for your sister.
Sleep and education all at the same time.
There you go.
I would imagine that student athletes wouldn't mind something like that as well. Certainly the coaches would if you could, get a straitjacket on them. How are your swaddling skills these days? It took me a few months before I was really good at it. How are you at swaddling?
Way below average. Way below average. He kicks right out of mine in a heartbeat.
Yep.
JC gets him wrapped up like I don't know. I'm just not very good at it. He gets his feet and hands out of mine very, very quickly. But, listen, hey, I'll tell you this. Y'all know part of my strategy is to be so bad at some of this stuff that they don't ask me to do it again.
Right.
So, I'm going to use 11 wipes to clean a dirty diaper. And I'm going to, that just they're like, hey, let me do it. So I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you that's part of my strategy. But I am not very good at it, Phil. I'm really good at reading, playing guitar to him, telling him stories that he's probably too young to be hearing, and watching Hamilton with him. So I've got my sweet spot.
Well, that moves right into the next topic here, and I was going to ask for a scouting report on Bowen, but let's go more with you had given, and I saw this when you took the team to see Hamilton in San Francisco. You gave him a full briefing, a scouting report on Hamilton. You did the same thing on Zoom for those who are interested in it before the show on Friday. So I can imagine that seeing that show on television for you, someone who I think you've seen Hamilton live, 10 or 11 times, was a completely
11.
different experience, but still highly enjoyable.
No question. The scouting report turned out great. We titled it "The Zoom Where It Happens," and everybody will get the reference. There's a great song in there called "The Room Where It Happens." So we called our little group "The Zoom Where It Happens," and it was great. We had people from all over the world, all ages, some in sports, some not in sports, but all Hamilton interested in seeing it. Some had seen it multiple times, some had not seen it at all. And what we tried to give to the team was just enough to not spoil anything that they were going to experience, but some of the things that, if the people that are listening have seen it or haven't seen it, you have to really be prepared for the pace of the lyrics. It's 20,000 words thrown at you in just under 2.5 hours of actual acting time. So if you're not ready for that, man, it can be overwhelming. I know it overwhelmed me. And then, the dual casting, which, I've learned some theater terms. It's called dual casting, where, Thomas Jefferson and Lafayette are played by the same character, but two completely different roles in the two acts. So tried to share that with the people ahead of time, and I got some really positive responses. It was just a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun in that room. And then, if you're looking for people that have seen it live in the theater that have yet to maybe be reluctant to watch it on a streaming situation, what you lose by the ambiance of the theater, the spectacle of getting dressed up and sitting in a really elaborately decorated set and seeing everything all happen at once. You certainly lose that when you watch it in, on a flat screen. But what you gain in seeing the up close expressions, I don't care how good a seat you had when you saw it in the theater. You never got to see the spit come out of King George's mouth and lay there on his lip like you do live on the Disney Channel. So there's something in it for everybody, but certainly be ready for a fast-paced action.
Speaking to women's head coach Mike Neighbors here on Halftime. Coach, wanted to ask you this, too, because we talked a little bit about this yesterday. I'm not the biggest Weird Al fan, but my two guys here, Phil and Maddie T, are huge Weird Al Yankovic fans, and I would argue that Maddie T is probably the bigger of the two.
What?
Phil, is that a fair statement, Phil?
I don't know.
I've at least seen him live a lot more times and met him more than Phil. I have my picture. I have my picture with.
I'm just curious about this list because we talked about your top 10 or your list of top Weird Al Yankovic songs, and the boys had a little bit of a disagreement that some songs were a little too high, a little too low. Some weren't even in there. I'll leave the floor open to you about your Weird Al Yankovic rankings.
I just tell them make their own damn list. I mean, it's my list. It's my. I mean, they can write whatever down they want to, but when you start putting a number beside it, let's have a talk. Send me your list, and we can have some discussions.
Right.
But I think that's what's the beautiful thing about music, and Phil has to listen to this with me way too much on the road when we get in these discussions with random people from random towns. But so much about music is the time that it finds you and where you're at, the time of your life, and for me, Weird Al came out, when it was. I Love Rocky Road, and back there another one Rides the Bus, and that a long time ago, and I think Phil's a little younger than I am, and I know everybody's a little younger than I am at this point, but I think that's why the list is what the list is. That's what my favorites are. I sent my list to Phil because I'm working on my top 100,000 songs of all time. And, when I'm down to Weird Al Yankovic, so I'm getting really low.
You're on the back end now. That's right.
I'm on the back end of this, man. I'm on the wise. I am in the wise. And but, again, when you start writing down how many songs that this tremendous, I think he's so overlooked for talent because, it is some type of a parody. Some people, don't consider it music, but I think what he does is brilliant. And I can see why a purist, especially somebody that's met him, could probably have a justified argument with my list. I got no problem, but again, write yours down, send it to me, and we can have a conversation.
Have a man-to-man conversation.
That's right. We can talk about this. We can talk about this like gentlemen.
See, I wonder if, your background as a coach, you being a coach, you have to make difficult decisions on who's getting playing time and who you're making offers to and everything that goes around running a program, so that when it comes time to actually make decisions as to how you're going to rank 1 through 15 on a list like this, I feel like you're used to that. I am somebody that will take forever to make a simple decision. I can't rank anything. It's miserable for me to try it.
Yeah, well, and I think that is part of it. It's where my list making came from. It was like, here's the thing. Sometimes everybody goes, oh, well, they're just ranked 22 this week. Well, you know what? 22 is pretty dadgum good when you start putting numbers beside things.
Yeah.
So when you start ranking your top 25 songs, for example, I guarantee you your 22nd best song is a song that you absolutely love. So that's where that kind of came from. We get ranked. Every week somebody can look at the RPI, now every day. And in our profession, you get ranked. They don't have those out there for, other professions. There's not a daily RPI where we can check midday radio hosts, see how y'all are doing nationwide. I know y'all have, you have ratings, but they're not comparative. So that's where this list came from. And just as an example of how hard it is and how talented, like I said, I'm at almost 100,000 songs now. And there's still good songs. There's not a bad song on the list. So I just do it to try to kind of put in perspective how much great music there is out there, and we're all moved by it in a different form and fashion. And Bill will tell you, we end up talking about the movie list or the song list way more than we do sports when we're out on the road traveling.
Right.
So let me ask you this. What would be, we'll just say for conversation, what would be your top 5? Like, what's Mike Neighbors' top 5 songs right now? Because I'm a big music guy myself, too.
Number 1 is Sweet Child of Mine, and it hasn't changed since the mid-'80s. I know it's not even Guns N' Roses' probably best song, but for me, it's my favorite. Number 2 is You Shook Me All Night Long by AC/DC.
Yes.
Number 3 is Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. Number 4 is Jesse's Girl by Rick Springfield. And I don't want to hear anybody tell me that it's not. It's number 4. Okay, you can argue all you want, and Phil can tell you I've got an autographed picture from Rick because of that. So, Rick, it's number 4, and number 5 is King George Amarillo by Morning remake. Most people don't realize it's a remake, but it is, and it's still sitting at number 5.
Interesting. All right, I can handle. That's a good. And like you said, any lit, because these past few years I've really became like a Elton. I've always enjoyed him, but I love Elton John and Billy Joel and those, like, just the soft voice and just how the rock styles that they do. Love Elton John, and those are we saw Rocket Man. I've still yet to see Bohemian Rhapsody, but those old school bands, and especially during this quarantine and just listening to all these guys, Elton John for me is probably my favorite artist of all time.
Okay, and that's fair. I've got about 45 of his songs written down and ranked. And that puts him, as far as sheer number, that puts him near the top of my list as well.
Good man.
And he's going to fall, if you ask me to start ranking artists, for me it's not by who has the most songs I like. It's by their impact. So, I think Elton John's I haven't finished that list, but he's on it to be considered. And I would guess he's going to fall in the top 25.
SmackDown, you got to make. If you're looking for certain types of memorabilia, you got to have scouts all across the country searching for those things for you, like Nabes does. I think I was sitting next to you when you were handed the Rick Springfield signed album. I forget the name of the ESPN announcer that handed it to you.
It's Paul Sunderland.
That's
and
it, Paul.
He,
that's right.
Yeah, he had read. Jerry Thorpe had put in our game notes that I had this music list, and Rick Springfield was number 4, and Paul did his research and was digging on it, and he came in and told me, he said, I'm his next-door neighbor. And I said, well, wait a second, what? I was like, first of all, Paul, what are you doing living in Malibu and doing our game on broadcast? I don't get it. What that doesn't, first of all, that doesn't add up to me. But he just loves to do it. He does it a lot for fun. So, anyhow, he said, well, the next time I see you, I'm going to get Rick to sign it for me. It says, go Razorbacks, go Hogs, Rick Springfield, and it's sitting in a very prominent spot in my music room.
Okay, I want to close out, and this will be a non-basketball interview. We'll have no basketball in this.
Great, awesome, because I don't know anything about it. I got no answers for you there.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's got any answers for us as far as college sports are concerned right now, so why ask the questions? I sent you a photo before we went on today. It was a photo of my face. I've been talking about the facial hair on the show for a while now, and I am guaranteeing you that this horseshoe mustache will make me a better billiards player just on intimidation factors alone. So when you saw this photo, do you think this fits my face? Do I need to shave the thing off?
No, you need to keep it for sure because, hey, listen, when Todd Barber stopped traveling with us, we lost a little bit of our macho-ness.
That's right.
And Dave maybe going to start traveling with us. That'll help. But, me, you, Todd, and Jeff, and Chantel, and Pauline rolling into a place. We need somebody like you looking tough, like you can handle yourself. So you keep that thing. And I don't think there's any question it's going to help your pool game because, where you're starting at, you got no room but to go up, brother.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
He's just speaking truth right there.
You need me. I need to tag along with these guys because you got the macho-ness with the mustache, and I just scare everybody when I walk into a room.
Yeah, put the horseshoe mustache on your face.
Phil is good at darts. He's good at video games. He's great at pool. You got to be pretty good at pool in our group to hang because we got some sharks. Coach Schaefer's probably the better of all of us, but there's a marathon match every now and then between Jeff and Phil that it's fun to watch.
Right, it's a couple of D-leaguers going up against each other. Hey, Dave, we'll leave it there. It's great talking with you. Thanks a lot. Say hi to Bowen and JC, and
sure.
We'll talk soon.
Thanks,
okay,
Coach.
boys. See y'all. All right.
Mike Nabors, Arkansas head women's basketball coach. Lots of fun. There really aren't many coaches across college sports or sports in general that you could do a full 15, 16 minutes with.
That was great.
And not bring up sports once.
This is the room where it happens. I liked his the Zoom where it happens reference.
Yes. It was definitely the Zoom where it
I didn't mention that I did get to interview Weird Al too, but I thought that at that point I was just laying it on thick.
Yeah, you're just bragging.
But I thought that was a legit. If you put a gun to my head, I would say that you're the bigger fan.
I don't want to.
So at some point we're going to have to do like we did yesterday.
A trivia challenge?
Let's do that next Friday. We'll have a Weird Al Yankovic trivia.
Wow, okay. Name that tune, though?
Name that yes. We'll
do
it.
With all original songs?
All original, yes. We'll do a Name That Tune with Weird Al Yankovic. Without it, we'll decide who's the biggest Weird Al Yankovic fan, Phil Elson or Matty T.
All right. We have to take one more break, right?
Yes.
All right.
Do we have to?
Let's take that break, and we'll come back and wrap the show up and finish off the week here on Halftime, so stay tuned.
I approached Madison and said, I know you hate him, but let's hear what he has to say. Well, I arranged the meeting.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
See the full line of Gravely mowers with 0% financing for 48 months at Bush Tractor in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com.
906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, now open Tuesday through Saturday. Still serving all the 906 specialty items, with new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, dine in or carry out, wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails and cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels more like a destination. Following all of the state guidelines in a state-of-the-art state-of-the-art air filtration system for your safety. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open Tuesday through Saturday at 4 p.m.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Sit comfortably on your patio or by the lake in a Four Seasons Courtyard Extra Large Zero Gravity Chair from Metters Lumber True Value for only $49.99. This extra large sling fabric chair features double bungee cord stability and a ring lock mechanism for easy recline. Sturdy steel frame with rust protection coating holds up to 350 pounds. Matching folding side table is only $16.99 and has a sling fabric top with a cup holder. Choose from blue, gray, red, or tan. Pick up this bargain of the month today while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
Business owners, if your carpets and floors show the effects of too much foot traffic, call the professionals at your local Service Master Clean. Whether it's janitorial cleaning or specialty cleaning to eliminate dirt and grime from carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors, no job is too big or too small. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
It's time for the annual trade-up event going on right now at Breeden RV all through the month of July. Trade up and get up to $5,000 over NADA trade-in value. Trade up and take advantage of rock-bottom prices on all new and used travel trailers, fifth wheels, and motorhomes. And you get free maintenance for life on everything new. Breeden RV will also take care of all your service needs on all makes and models. Shop today at BreedenRV.com and then come see Ransom in the Game at Breeden RV between Van Buren and Alma on Alma Highway. Breeden RV, where adventures begin.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Do you hate your current mailing machine? Is dealing with that giant company not worth the effort any longer? That's the issue we had at Dixie Digital. While looking for a better solution for our own use, we partnered with FP for mailing and mailroom solutions. We now offer access to FP's entire line of postage machines, folder inserters, software, and more. Local service with a local company. For more information, give Dixie Digital a call at 783-6600 or visit our website at dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Do you really love French fries? Curly, steak, shoestring, Cajun, waffle, wedges? ESPN Arkansas wants to know where the best French fries in Arkansas are at with the French Fry Bracket. Get to hitthatline.com and vote for your favorite fry. And one lucky winner will get a $50 gift certificate to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers to sample their greatness. Vote now through Friday the 17th. Presented by RAD, Rise Against Alcohol and Drugs. The French Fry Bracket from ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
High drive way back into right field. You can kiss that one goodbye. That cleared the video board. Heston Kjerstad with a grand slam. Let's just recap some of the things going on in sports right now as we wrap up this Friday edition of Halftime. Giants catcher Buster Posey says no thanks. He will opt out of the Major League Baseball 60-game season with his wife, and he expected to adopt 2 newborn twins in the coming weeks. Also, this just coming out recently, Tampa Bay starting left tackle Donovan Smith, the guy who's actually supposed to protect Tom Brady's blind side, said this morning, quote, risking my health as well as my family's health does not seem like a risk worth taking, unquote, by playing during the coronavirus pandemic. That according to Jenna Lane, staff writer at ESPN.com. So, hey, this doesn't mean you're not going to have a season, but it does mean that there are going to be a lot of top-notch athletes that elect to sit out this upcoming season because of their own fears of the virus. So, hey, that's one reason why this upcoming season, whatever season it is, it's all a bunch of asterisks. It doesn't mean that these seasons are not worth playing, but you're not going to have the same look, you might not have the same same quality of play on either of the sports that you're used to because of the limitations that the athletes have in order to prepare and get ready and the routines that they're going through. I wouldn't imagine that the quality of baseball that's played in the major leagues in this upcoming season is what we're used to seeing. And I think the quality of play in the NFL with fewer preseason games, fewer practices, college football the same. It's just not going to be the same games. It doesn't mean that they're not worth playing, but it's not like the quality of play will continue to get better as it usually seems to. Let's see, other thing. I mean, we should have gotten to this yesterday. The NFL banning jersey swaps post games, not just the jersey swaps, but any of the post game handshakes and the usual post game scene of teams meeting together at midfield for a variety of handshakes, hugs, and photos. That won't be happening, which seems a bit interesting or maybe a little bit odd that after these two teams have finished slamming into each other dozens and dozens of times each, that they won't allow them to shake hands.
That's the
or
weird part.
Exchange a jersey. Although I imagine, and I also guess that maybe some players are allowed to opt out of these shield masks that are being connected to the helmets. I think I saw J.J. Watt says I don't want to play with the mask. If the mask is really what keeps players that might be ill from infecting somebody else, nobody comes together with their masks on usually, or their helmets on for the post game thing. I mean, those masks usually those helmets usually come off, but it does seem odd. Let's tackle each other, let's block each other, and basically be stuck to somebody from the opposing team for 60 minutes, but then you can't come across the field and say good game. But hey, if you're not allowing media access, can you allow player access? Player against player access from different teams.
It was weird when this whole thing came out, and I just kind of batted the eye at it just when I first saw it. I was like, doesn't surprise me. And then I think I heard it on Go Look and Wingo, the same point you just made. They're tackling each other. They're sweating on each other. I mean, they're not within 6 feet of each other. I mean, it was odd. And then I started thinking, this is a weird rule to make, but hell, anything at this point doesn't surprise me anymore.
Another thing that did stand out, ESPN sets a 30-for-30 series on the 1986 New York Mets World Series Championship Club. That is one of the more interesting teams in baseball history. If you haven't read The Bad Guys Won, which was the account of the 86 season written by Jeff Pearlman, came out a few years ago, it is worth your time. And I can't wait to see whatever visions or whatever video or footage they have from inside the charter plane that the Mets took from Houston back to New York after winning the 1986 NLCS, because the way Pearlman wrote about it, it was like that thing was trashed, like the Rolling Stones would have trashed a hotel room in the late 60s. I can't wait to see this.
You're in luck. Jimmy Kimmel's the executive producer, so it'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Sure it will. We made it through the week. Another week without sports. Next week's a big week. SEC ADs will be meeting. We'll have an idea of what the season looks like potentially. And have yourself a good and safe weekend. For SmackDown and Matty T, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
Lock in your price for 2 years and get a free Google